Hello my friends. Today's video is something that I've been meaning to talk about for a very long time because it comes up in almost every video, and that of course is how to engage your core. I know that I say it a lot, whether it's in like a technique video following along, I say make sure that you engage your core, or I'm giving you tips and I say, oh, one tip is to engage your core. But I never really go into how to do it, and I've done it over on my Instagram, but I'm going to do it here today because you guys deserve a deep dive into it. The reason this video is so important, and the reason why it's so important that you figure out how to engage your core, is that your core affects your posture and it really affects the rest of your dancing. And it could be like the key element, that little puzzle piece that is affecting the rest of your dancing in maybe a not so good way. So it's something that you definitely want to work on, even if it's hard at first for you to get that feeling. I highly encourage you to watch through this whole video if you've ever struggled with any kind of upper body related issues, as far as like having your ribs stick out, or maybe your teacher tells you that you tucking under or something like that. Hopefully my advice can be helpful because I've struggled with all of those things before, and to me it used to seem very complicated. Like people would say, suck in, close your ribs, pull up, do all this stuff, but it honestly doesn't have to be that complicated if you can start to feel the right feeling right away. Okay, let me explain. When I talk about engaging my core, what I'm not talking about is I'm not talking about sucking in my stomach. Like if someone is like, tell you to look skinnier and you just suck in your stomach, because what happens there is, hopefully you can see, my ribs are flaring out. They're like really apparent and they're opening, okay? We do not want that, but you might be thinking, okay, then how do I suck in my stomach without doing that? So that's where you have to learn. It's not about making yourself look smaller or like sucking it in. It's about making it tighter. That's a better way for me to express it to you. So what you want to do instead is, if you can think about if you engage like your bicep, when someone says flex your muscle, or a lot of people like if you flex your quad muscle by straightening your leg really hard, that's the feeling you want with your stomach. So I want you to picture, if someone were to say, I'm about to hit you in the stomach and I don't want you to move, what are you going to do? You're going to tense up. So when I tense up, my stomach really doesn't go in that far. For some people, even depending on your body shape, it might not look smaller. It might look kind of like flatter and wider, and that's okay. You're just engaging the muscles. You need to stop worrying about what it looks like and get used to the feeling instead. So the feeling is you're getting really nice and tight. So if someone comes up here, nothing's gonna move. I mean, you can have some body fat and that's gonna move around, but deep down in there, you feel the muscles, okay? And if it's hard for you to feel that feeling, you might need to do some more core exercises. This is weird, I'm like standing here with my shirt like this, but that's when you might need to start working on your core strength more so that you're able to actively engage those muscles. If you never do planks, if you never do sit-ups, just the basic core exercises, then it's kind of unlikely that you will be able to just actively turn those on all of a sudden, okay? Like, even for me, if I don't work on my abs for a little while, and then I come to dance and I'm thinking about like standing up tall and keeping my tummy tight, it's harder because I haven't been working those muscles for a while. So that is one of my recommendations, is that you go in and start doing some abs. I have a core workout, I think just one right now, posted. I can definitely do some more. I love working out abs for whatever reason. Like, I used to hate it and now it's like kind of fun. I kind of like the pain for some reason. But, you know, even just a 30-second plank 3 times, work yourself up, see how long you can get your plank to. Doing that will really ensure that you have the right muscles to stabilize you. I don't want to get too much into it in this video, even though I said I was going to go deep into it, but it's that your core is not just your abdominal muscles. Your core includes like all of your back muscles and like your hips. It's a lot of this. It's not just right here, and it's not just the six-pack muscles. So you don't need to focus on just doing like your crunches. That's not going to be overall helpful to your core strength, but I digress. We can talk about that later. So back to what I was talking about with how to engage your core. So number one, it's not sucking it in. It's also not pulling your lower belly so far in that you're tucking your bottom under. This is also really incorrect because first of all, it's so hard to move around like this. Second of all, you're still not engaging the muscles. All you're doing is like pulling your lower belly in. And that's why I know I say it sometimes. I give you guys these cues to like pull in your lower belly toward your spine. And for some people that causes this, right? I say it just because it's easy and I kind of assume that you know what the right thing is to do, but I should stop assuming. You know what they say about assumptions. So if that analogy of being punched in the stomach is not helpful to you and you still can't get that feeling, another thing that you can try is you take in a big breath and open those ribs out as much as you can. So I breathe in, my ribs are like all crazy and out. Now I want you to breathe out as much as you can. Breathe out all of that air. Keep breathing it out. Even when you feel like you have zero air left, keep trying to breathe out more. And then this version of your stomach, that is engaging your core. If you continue trying to like push, push, push and flex those muscles, that is engaging your core. Now, I'm not saying don't breathe while you dance. No, you should get to a point where you can get to this position and comfortably still breathe. But what it means is that your breath is not gonna be so much like down from the belly all the way into your ribs. It's gonna be like a higher breath. At least that is in my case. Hopefully that's normal. I just want to say, you make sure that you still are breathing, of course, but breathe out all that air, and that's where you should be. Now, if you have the proper alignment of your spine now, where you're not like going like this, and you're not hunching your shoulders over, if you keep your spine in line and you engage your core, and you just pull up through your legs and use your rotation, you naturally are gonna have this much better posture, this much better alignment, without having to think of a million things. Like, you're not gonna have to think about like chest lifted, chin up, zip your ribs in, all these things. Which I know that I like say some of these things all the time, but this is where you need to get to. I highly encourage you to work on this because I know the struggle. I remember being in ballet class and not knowing how to like keep my tummy in but also close my ribs. I thought that was so hard, and it doesn't need to be that complicated because then that becomes all you're thinking about and you can't even think about the rest of your dancing. Whereas it should just be something that happens, pops into place, you got your abs tight, and you dance and you live your life, and all is well. Really sincerely hope that this was somewhat helpful to y'all, and if you have any other questions, please make sure to leave them in the comments. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you'd like more tips, more videos from me, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. If you're on YouTube all the time like me, like seriously, all I do is watch YouTube these days. Like, I don't even watch TV. Anyway, this is it for me today. Time for me to go to modern class and contemporary class. It's a double, what's that word? I can't think of the word. But yeah, see you on my next video. Bye.